Hey everybody, Greg Pruitt here, president of the Idaho Second Amendment Alliance, and today we are going to be talking about banning firearms at county fairgrounds in the state of Idaho. Legal or not? All right, so before we get started, please be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Rumble. We prefer all of our people to get over on Rumble just because Pro 2A and YouTube, who knows how long that'll last, right? It could last years, it could last a couple weeks. So we have no idea in the current climate. With that, be sure to also give us a comment. Let us know where you are watching from in the state of Idaho, or if you're outside the state of Idaho and you just happen to be supporting the Idaho Second Amendment Alliance. Now, since I started doing this all the way back in 2012, inevitably every single year during the summer months, we end up with a whole bunch of county fairs and rodeos and other events that take place on public property. Keep in mind, Idaho has a firearm preemption statute. Most states do. There are a handful that don't. And the firearm preemption statute prohibits cities and counties from regulating firearms, okay, whether it's possession, sales, all that kind of stuff. Um, and the reason that they're prohibited by state law is so that the law is uniform throughout the state, and you're not traveling to Boise where firearms are banned, and then you end up in Nampa where they're okay, and then you end up in Sandpoint where they're banned, and you end up in Coeur d'Alene where it's okay. And so states passed these firearm preemption laws to prevent these cities and counties from just creating a tangled web of firearm laws and ended up with a bunch of people thrown in prison. And so Idaho passed its original law back in 2008. There was an amendment in 2013. But the bottom line is on public property, okay, your city halls, county buildings, city buildings, city parks, all these places, fairgrounds, if they are public property, you have a right to keep and bear arms on those locations. And so, but again, despite having those laws in place, we are going to get, I don't know, maybe 10 or so messages, probably at least this summer from county fairgrounds or rodeo fairgrounds or rodeo events or whatever, um, of people who are not allowed to bring firearms into these events. Sometimes it's the security that the county hires to kind of check people coming in that'll put up a sign, or it's a security guard who doesn't know that we have this state law that tries to prohibit people from coming in. I had my own run-in with the Canyon County Fairgrounds. At the time, I lived in Caldwell, and so I was right. I was literally 30 seconds down the street, and we had been notified by a number of people that they were not letting people in with firearms. And I recommend doing this for myself. Yeah, certainly, if you're going to carry a firearm in and you start getting individuals at these locations who are harassing you or threatening to have you arrested, all that kind of stuff, you might want to roll a camera from your phone or have somebody that's with you roll a camera just in case, you end up getting arrested and all that kind of stuff. Um, a lot of times, again, it's just the lack of education on these county officials or private security companies at these places that don't know any better. You can first, if you're there and they say, we're going to ask you to leave, you can speak with some of the people who work there, their supervisors or whoever, which is what we ended up doing in Canyon County. We said, look, the state law 18-3302J prohibits you from banning firearms inside this location. And usually you can end up at least having a discussion with a county official or one of the officials working for the security, and reminding them of what the state law is. And that's kind of what we had to end up doing in Canyon County, was just speaking with the fair officials, who then spoke with security and said, yeah, it was a mistake. They're not supposed to be prohibiting gun owners from exercising their rights. And we got it taken care of, and it was easy. Sometimes it doesn't quite go that way, as was the case with the city of Sandpoint, where um, now State Senator Scott Herndon and our other plaintiff, Jeff Avery, were prohibited from going into a public park. The city of Sandpoint had, quote unquote, leased this park to the festival at Sandpoint, which is a nonprofit organization. And the festival decided that this year in this public park, we're going to go ahead and ban firearms. And this was, I believe, as a result of the Garlic Festival shooting in California. That's just my guess, because that was like a number of weeks, 3 or 4 weeks maybe, before the festival at Sandpoint, which had not previously banned firearms. So our presumption is that that's a result of the Garlic Festival shooting in California. And so um, our argument before now, the Idaho Supreme Court, is that, well, wait a minute here. If the festival, or excuse me, if the city of Sandpoint doesn't have the authority to regulate the possession of firearms on public property, how in the world can they give that authority to somebody else? Right? How is it not an understood part of the agreement, so to speak, that if a private entity is going to use public property, that they also have to abide by the same laws that the city does or the county does, the city in this case. And so that's our argument before the Idaho Supreme Court. And again, if the Idaho Supreme Court comes down on the wrong side of this, then we have no preemption law, because essentially the cities and counties can just say, okay, well, the rodeo fairgrounds in Rigby, Idaho is now controlled by this private nonprofit organization, and they can do whatever they want. The city of Boise. I can see very quickly Lauren McLean having some nonprofit um, lease all of the parks, and then they regulate them and reserve them out to other private entities. And so this case is huge. I mean, absolutely monumental. We argued before the Idaho Supreme Court. Don Kilmer, who was the attorney for the Second Amendment Foundation, also argued on our behalf in that oral argument. That was on February 8th, and I'm told the time frame is typically 90 days, and we're well past that. So we don't know. We don't have an answer yet, as of June 14th, when I'm recording this video. But if you guys are going to go out and you notice a problem, you can always first contact us. You'll probably find some signs. We always get a number of notifications about signs being posted. Uh, Take a picture, send us the signs. You can post them on social media through Facebook. You can also email them to me, president, all spelled out, at Idaho, S is in Sam, AA.org. Send me a message. I'd be happy to take a look at the sign, where it's located, and if nobody wants to go and challenge the sign, maybe one of us or somebody that works for us or whatever can go and kind of challenge the county that's being a problem. And again, inevitably every year we have had this exact same problem. For some reason, the counties either don't care, or we get new people in the counties maybe, and then they don't realize what the rules are, and we end up with more violations of our Idaho preemption law. But that's why we're here as an organization. We've done over 80 of these firearm preemption violations and gotten them corrected. And so, we're happy to keep that going. We want to make sure that, if we're expected to follow the law, guess what? The county officials, the city officials, they also need to follow the law. And that's what we're here for. So, um, if that's the type of work that you like, we need a lot more members. Look, the political atmosphere in Idaho is changing very rapidly. The anti-gun radicals, the liberals, they are all mobilizing the state of Idaho. And if you're not joined with us, I don't know what you're doing. A lot of people tell me, well, I'm joined with other national organizations, and my thought is, okay, you can, but the money that you spend and donate and become a part of with the Idaho Second Amendment Alliance, guess what? That stays here. And so I would encourage you to become a member at joinisa.com. Become a member today. We're the hardest hitting group in the state by far. We don't compromise. We fight until we get exactly what gun owners are asking for, which is a full restoration of the Second Amendment. No compromise, no infringements. That's what we're fighting for. So please be sure to join up today at joinisa.com. And if you guys have any questions or concerns or comments about anything preemption related, it doesn't even have to be the county fairgrounds. If it's your city hall or something like that, if you see something, I don't know, cliche, see something, say something, but let us know, and we will happily look into it and let you know if, yeah, there's something there, and we can try and get this corrected, or no, this falls outside of the firearm preemption statute. We can figure all of that out for you guys. So Thank you for tuning in. Be sure again, share, share, share. This time of year, I need this video to go as far as and wide as possible in Idaho because I know the problems are coming. They're about to start any day now. And maybe we can get county officials to watch this video and prevent some potential issues from taking place ahead of time. So thank you. Take care. God bless.